driving all night, 7 o'clock in the morning, just want to go to sleep. Nope. Clutch pedal linkage fell off. So, might as well get it fixed before we go to sleep. This is the kind of fun that fly-in drivers miss out on. So the sun's up now, we've been driving all night, go to pull in the truck stop, and I got no clutch. So fortunately there was no traffic or anything, and I was able to roll in here and get into a parking spot without having to stop, because if I had to stop, I'd never be able to get the truck back into gear. So called my buddy Diesel Dave, my mechanic back home, and said, what do I need to be looking for in this thing? And there's a linkage between the clutch pedal and the actual clutch itself. The rod end that's on it's like a tie rod, so it's got rod ends on either side, and the tie rod backed off of the one rod end, so it was just completely disconnected. So grabbed some tools out of the trailer, got it fixed up, ready for bed now. So where there's a will, there's a way. When you are monster trucking, you got to make it happen no matter what. This has not been an easy drive. Last night went good. We got on the road at like midnight from back home, set the cruise, just let her cruise along. Today was a different story. Just nothing but traffic and delays. Turned a 5.5-hour drive today into like 8 hours. So, well, we're finally here at Lucas Oil Speedway, ready to throw down here for the last event of the season for us. Really killer lineup of 8 trucks out here. It's going to be a badass show, man. Nav TV. Pretty cool venue looks like, so see what we got for them this weekend. I'm ready for some chicken and bed. Another nice thing about having a toter home now is we can cook our own meals here at the track. We got to go and try to hunt down something for lunch or for dinner at the last minute and get something that's greasy and fried and we don't know what's in it. Cook all of our own. So we're all set up out here at Lucas Oil Speedway for our final event of the year for MAP Motorsports. It looks like a crazy track out there. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got some great trucks. It's going to be an awesome show for these fans. How far down are we pitted? Are we like right at the corner?
Literally right where the wall starts back up.
Okay. Sounds good. Nah, I don't know if I'll be mic'd up, but it depends on how fast they send us after intros.
Right.
If I am, I'll come on the mic. You have the radio?
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab it now.
Yeah, you better go grab it.
Okay.
the opposite way. It's impossible. About to do freestyle here in front of a pretty much a sold out crowd at Lucas Oil Speedway. Not our night in racing, just fought some rear steer problems. And so gonna go out there and just try to, we'll go out third for freestyle. And just gonna go out and try to just fill the clock and, you know, put on a nice solid run, good show for these fans. All right, so truck's loaded up already. 8th truck's about to hit the track for freestyle. We came, we didn't win nothing tonight, but we laid down some solid runs. It's the last event of the season. I am to be perfectly honest. I went out, felt like I did some pretty good runs, but I was not going to tear my truck up. Not the last event of the year. When you got to do this as a business like we do, you know, we got a long winter before we start doing shows again. We just invested big time in a new rig. I don't need a tore up truck right now too. We got to rebuild motors, we got to rebuild transmissions, we got to rebuild shocks. We got enough stuff to do to prepare for next year. I was not about to wad this thing up here, but you know what? We still went out, laid down a damn good run, I think, and I think these fans were definitely stoked on it. And the truck's loaded up, not a scratch on it. We're gonna go sign some autographs. And then, unlike some people that have the luxury of just being able to drive a monster truck, I also get to drive a 90-foot tractor trailer down the road at probably 1 a.m. by the time we get out of here and start heading back home. So I've got the high octane coffee rolling strong right now, and we're gonna see how close we can get to home tonight. So I'm not quite sure how, but due to an excessive amount of caffeine and loud rock and roll music and 8-inch straight pipes, we managed to make it all the way home after the show in Springfield. No, not Springfield. Where were we? Wheatland. Lucas Oil Speedway. Did the show, loaded up, headed straight home, had no intention on coming all the way home, but just stayed awake and felt fine, so just kept on rolling, and here we are Sunday afternoon. We're back home here in Ohio, so third of the way across the country after doing a show. So pretty tired right now. Going to park everything here in the shop for the day, come out here tomorrow, pull the trailer out, get the truck unloaded, get stuff washed up and everything, and start our end of season teardown and prep for 2023. So this is the tech talk portion of our vlog. We're going to start doing this as a regular thing now with the vlogs that we're doing. Give you guys a little bit more information about how these trucks work, what happens when we crash, what happens when things go wrong, when things break, when things don't work right. Like what happened in Wheatland, Missouri at Lucas Oil Speedway when I was racing Jamie Garner and Overboard. I come ripping around a corner. I like to lead with my rear steer a lot of times. and then put the truck into a four-wheel drift and use my front steering and my throttle to kind of drift the truck around the corner. Well, track had a lot of grip. We're putting a lot of horsepower down with that VZ 555 engine, and with the big cleats on my tires. It hit the cushion valve on the rear steer, which I'm going to explain what that is. On our rear steer, we have two steering rams just like what we have on the front. On Bad Habit, we run a double plumb ram on the front of the truck as well as on the rear. Now, a double plumb hydraulic ram is exactly what it sounds like. It's plumbed with pressure on both sides of the ram. So when you're steering one way, you have pressure going from one side and then the fluid's backfeeding from the other side. When you're steering the other way, the fluid is pushing on this side and it's returning back from this side. The cushion valve is what is needed for, say you do a big sky wheelie and the truck goes kind of crooked in the air, lands hard on one wheel, or you do a hard side slap and you slam real hard on one side of the truck. If those hydraulics are holding this ram perfectly solid, something's got to give. Usually it's going to be a fitting, an O-ring, or it's going to blow apart a hydraulic line. It's going to blow apart, it's going to blow oil over the place because that shock load of the ram trying to be here and then taking an impact, it has nowhere to go. So the cushion valve, which we have mounted on Bad Habit on the 4-link bar, allows for a little bit of cushion when you take a hard hit like that. It basically bypasses the fluid and allows the rams to kind of give side to side so you don't blow a ram or an O-ring or something like that. Well, we had a lot of power, a lot of traction, and just when I was putting the truck into a drift, there was so much side bite that it activated that cushion valve and it turned my rear steer, causing me to spin out and screwed up my entire turn, ultimately losing the round. So we've got some things we're going to try, different cushion valve, maybe run without one, take the chance of blowing apart hydraulic lines. I just cut the side lugs down on the tire a little bit because it's been an ongoing problem now for the past couple of years with Bad Habit. It makes it very difficult on a turning style track to drive the way I want to drive and take the corners as fast as I want to take them when the rear steer keeps on screwing up. So we got some work to do this winter leading into next season and see what we can get figured out to address that problem. So that concludes our Tech Talk segment of this week's vlog. If you guys like it, if you're digging it, you like to know about what makes these trucks tick, leave us a comment down below in the video. Let us know what you want to know about. Do you want to know about the engines? You want to know about the planetaries, the axles, transmissions, the shocks? You ask, we tell.